It's time for the Podketeer podcast.
Good morning, Christopher Robin.
Oh, good morning, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, well, glad to meet you. Name's Tigger. T-I-double-G-R. That spells Tigger.
Now, isn't this a clever disguise?
It's time for the Podketeer podcast with your hosts, Mark Tanner and Melody Clark.
This could be about anything. And if you're like me, you'll wait and see. For I've got curiosity.
It's time.
Ah, I hit the wrong button.
Hiccup.
Don't you hate when you do that?
All the time. So, hello, Mark.
Hello, my dear sister Melody. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Swell. We both have the current D23 No Expo behind us, because as you may or may not know, they have eliminated the word Expo from D23. I mean, whenever you have something that has been running this many years successfully, you know the one thing you do want to do is mess with it. So,
Of course.
why they feel it necessary to mess with it, I don't know. The thing at the arena, I've watched video of what went on at the arena, and it was pretty spectacular. But I just don't know. Some of the people that are like media that have those YouTube channels and so forth, and they usually have pretty good seats at these things. They're way up in the back because the front seats to these things are $2,600.
Yeah.
If you want to sit in the front. And there's not too many of them YouTube channels that are making them enough money to where they can afford to spend $2,600 to sit in the front.
Now, if some of you good rich folk who are watching want to donate $2,600 to one of them, you can do
$5,200, and we'll go next time.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Of course, next year, or the next, it's not next year, in 2 years, the next one will probably be $5,000.
Probably.
Disney, this sold out. So I can guarantee you it's going to double in price. Whenever anything sells out, Disney says, ooh, we can make more money. And now, let's see here. Let me show you something. Where's that? I didn't load it. They've announced that they're going to have a D23 in Brazil.
Whoa.
Now, I didn't notice when it's going to be, but probably not too long in the future. I mean, there's a lot of people live in Brazil. Brazil's bigger than the United States.
Well, we're talking Peru, so maybe it's going to be an alien D23.
Hey, it could be. That's what we need.
Yeah.
So, we did the show. There was a lot of people liked the show. We had a lot of people watch the show. There was last time I looked, it was almost up to 50. It was like 48 that watched
That's a lot
the show
for a new podcast.
and that's more than we've seen in the past. So apparently, a lot of people liked the show. So there was a lot of new stuff coming out of D23. So I thought it warranted at least one more show. We might do another wrap up of all the new stuff that came out, because a lot of it is still popping right now because the Legends isn't done. There's not going to be a lot of news come out of Legends. Most of the news is coming out of the studio and park presentation. But I really didn't get a chance to see what they're going to do at Disneyland yet. The show that it was 3.5 hours long, and I just didn't have time to watch the whole thing. So I'm going to. And when I see what's what, I'll jot down some notes, and we'll talk about some more of it next week. What all is going to happen? I did watch the preview in the studio panel, or not the preview, but the what do they call it? Outline, where somebody just
Review.
jotted down the review. There you go, the important stuff that came out of that, and so I have some information. Like, Disney's on a number kick. We have Moana 2, The Incredibles 3, Toy Story 5. So instead of something new, we're getting all of that stuff. The only thing new they seem to make are shorts, although there is one new movie coming out, and Melanie has some information about that.
Yeah, that will be Elio. And it's fine. It's going to take them to 2025 because they have had a change of the guard over there. America Ferrara is no more as Elio's mom. And now Elio has sprouted an aunt who's going to be played by Zoe Saldana. So I guess America Ferrara is going on to the next project, whatever that is, where she will still be his mom. But he now has, although in Disney fashion, they might kill her off. It has a new director. They have, I'm going to have to look at my notes for this. My brother will tell you that I'm infamous for memory issues.
Oh. You.
Well, we both are. The new director is Domi Shi, who directed Turning Red, which was just brilliant. And she's going to be joined with a co-director, Madeline Sharafian, who did the new short that was promoted at D23. And leaving will be Adrian Molina, who is the director of Coco, and he's gone on to a secret project, which probably means they weren't getting along. But anyway, Elio is coming into his own in 2025 and will be joining the great, well, his name will be joining the lexicon. The character will be joining the Disney pantheon. And so at least that's new. I know
let's hope it's better than Strange Planet.
Amen. Well, yeah, they can't all be Encanto, They can't all be Coco.
No. So, but I'll tell you something about Zoe Saldana. She should think of one thing. Usually she played a sexy, young, spacefaring person when she played Uhura.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, she's playing somebody's aunt.
Yeah, well.
That's usually when you're starting to show your age, is when they plunk you into roles like that.
It's true. Well, it is a voice role.
I know, but still.
So it's not
I'd be concerned if I were her.
Yeah, you have to start wondering. Then again, voice actors play everything from little kids to old people. So,
well, look, Holly Hunter's got to be close to my age, and she's still playing Elastigirl.
Well, good old Grayson Hall. She, as a voice actress, she played everything from, little voices to old, deep voices. So, anyway.
Well, I was always a fan of Holly Hunter. I liked her in, you ever see the movie Always?
Yeah. She's a good actress. She is. And she's not worked as much as she should because she's getting long in tooth, as they say. But
like I said, she's got to be my age. So
probably.
Or close to it.
So I understand there were some ride bumps over the last few days.
Yeah, I guess we had an oops. And it just so happens, I was trying to look up her last name. I think she has a 3-name name, and it's Amanda Poole, and she has a last name starts with S, but I don't have it written down anywhere, and I'd have to go digging for it. So, Amanda, I apologize for not giving your full name here. But Amanda was nice enough. She's a member of the group. And she's the one that was in the car that went bang. So she was nice enough to allow the group to show her ride footage. So and here you go. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
She has a YouTube channel, I understand?
Yes, she does. Let me show you that first. She has a YouTube channel all about Disneyland. So obviously you like Disneyland or you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be listening to us. So right here, this is the name of her YouTube channel. It's Amanda Land. And it's all about Disneyland. And you will see Amanda here just a minute in this video that I'm going to show you. And this was filmed by Amanda, and she talks about it at the end of the video. So it's just a little short clip. It's kind of loud, so if you're wearing headphones, you might want to turn them down. I'll give you a second. 10, 9, 8. Okay, I'm going to play it. Here we go.
Just happened.
Oh my God.
Okay, just got smacked by the door on Alice in Wonderland. Oh my God. And
attention those inside Alice in Wonderland, please remain seated. A cast member will be with you shortly.
It was kind of like jumpy throughout the ride, and then when we got down to go through the last door, the doors opened and then went bam right on our caterpillar. I'm gonna get an in-show exit on Alice in Wonderland. Too bad it's like right by the exit. It's like right over there. But hopefully we'll be able to go through the tunnel. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through the tunnel. Yay!
Wow.
One of those exits you have to do on occasion when the ride breaks down. Yep. Some of them are fun.
Well, I did one of those on the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Whoa!
It caught fire. One of the pirates short circuited, and they're made of the faces are rubber, the skin, and the rubber caught fire, and it smoked real bad. So the whole tunnel was full of smoke. So where we were at, they shoved these things out. They were like built into the walkway, and they shoved them out to the boat, and they helped us out of the boat. And they led us to this exit. You go in there, and it's like an office building. It was very
disconcerting.
It kind of broke the atmosphere. We're in this office building. And they let us out through there and out and exit. So
yeah. Well, it's better than having to exit the good old, well, before they closed it down, Space Mountain, where
I can't even imagine that. That would be terrible.
That would be
I
kind of
know
scary.
Georgia and I had to walk off Radiator Springs Racers, but it was right at the beginning, right where you've never ridden that. Right where the car goes up and then goes out onto the track, it broke down right there. So we just walked a little ways backwards and off the ride, but that was it.
I have a mobility disability and I'm a coward, so both those things tend to limit my access to rides.
Well, when you go to the park, you will discover that the disability pass has changed.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
Used to be you could go in the exit and go right on the ride. You can't do that anymore.
No, people got mad because those disabled people, they're taking advantage of their disabilities. Yeah, it's a real advantage, a disability. That's why they call it a disability.
What was happening, though, in honesty, is people were pretending to be disabled. They would bring some little kid that you'd see running around, and all of a sudden he's in a wheelchair. And they'd wheel him in the back door, and they weren't allowed to require a doctor's slip saying they were disabled.
See, I'd be fine with that.
I mean, Connor, my grandson, has a DAS pass because of his autism. And I went in there one time. You have to renew it like every 90 days or something. So I went into City Hall to renew it. And the guy was like giving me trouble because Connor was behaving pretty good right at that moment. He was like, "Oh, yeah, come on." So, then Connor got tired of standing there.
Yeah.
And Connor started letting everybody have it. And the guy says, "Okay, I can see the problem."
Good for you, Connor. Well, my
I
son
don't want to stand here anymore.
Yeah, they soon learn the error of their ways. But
there
are all kinds of disabilities
with Connor. I'm sorry. What did you say?
There are all kinds of disabilities, and they're not all visible. Some of them take a while to reach the surface.
Well, Connor has both. Because of his autism, he has a difficult time with his dexterity.
Yeah.
So handling a pencil and writing and drawing, he has a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
But he's learned to draw real well, even though he holds a pencil like that.
I think I will point out it's not a Disney product, but the TV show 24, one of their two big heroes was a severe autistic. And she just was able to handle the internet and computers better than anyone. So
was that lady that passed away recently?
No. Chloe, Mary Lynn Rice Club, I think her name is. And it was a great
because we discussed that other lady who had done a lot of work on television that was autistic. She passed away not too long ago.
Yeah. No, this is an actress who isn't autistic playing a character that was. And
okay.
One of the very few autistic characters in a heroic role on TV. So good for them. Anyway, back to Disney. And so the disability pass has changed, but they still do have a lot of things like extra ride add-ons that you can use on the Small World and the Jungle Cruise. And if you're in
they have a special car in Florida on Tron for people who can't ride the motorcycle.
Right.
Or not, what do they call it? It's not a light cycle.
Yeah.
The people that can't ride the light cycle, they have a car for them. And that's good.
Yeah. I believe they have something similar to that over in California Adventures that I've heard about on one of the rides.
I don't know. I know, like in the castle, they have a special, the walkthrough thing of the castle.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever done that. The Sleeping Beauty's castle, they have like a walkthrough thing with all sorts of art that the original artist of the movie did. It's pretty cool. I mean, you're seeing like valuable things in there.
Yep.
By the way, anybody that wants some really cool Halloween costumes, on Facebook Marketplace, somebody is selling some almost Disneyland quality Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, and Tigger costumes.
I gotta tell my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, tell her to take a look. They're still on. They were still on there yesterday. I don't know if but they're $300.
Well,
but they're worth $300. You take a look at them and say, "Wow."
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, they're not much below Disney quality. They're pretty damn good. Okay, here. I'm sorry. Did you have something you wanted to say?
No. Let's press on.
Okay, here's one thing from D23. Anybody who's been through the Avengers campus right there, they've got that big empty building that it's there, and it's got a spaceship parked up on top of it. But supposedly there was supposed to be a ride in there, but so far there isn't one. Well, there's gonna be. And they showed the ride car, which is right here. And you're going to sit like on benches in here. And there's like 4 rows of people. You can see the head sticking up.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a little bit of an exaggeration in what's going to happen on the ride. I don't think I don't think they're really going to have flames and bursting
through actual
walls.
Fire. Yeah.
And this is supposed to be the villain, King Thanos. And from the video they showed, it looks like the guy that plays, he was in one of the Avengers movies, and he also played Hellboy. That actor is going to play King Thanos. So, all right, let's see what else. Go ahead.
No, nothing.
Okay, I've got a preview that Disney did of D23 that I thought was pretty cool. I thought we'd play that for you. So here we go.
From the minute the rope drops, the show floor will just be filled with fans. The energy and excitement is palpable.
We love you, D23!
The enthusiasm, the motivation, the energy are off the charts.
We love you, D23!
Being in the midst of the fans, the room is absolutely electric. There's really nothing like it.
D23 is Disney's official fan club, and it is this incredible community of the most passionate Disney fans from around the world.
D23 is really telling the story of the fans. They are the reason why we do what we do, and they are the reason why we've been working for years to put on the ultimate Disney fan event.
The first Grand D23 event, which we then called the D23 Expo, was in 2009, and it took place at the Anaheim Convention Center.
We really wanted to gather all of our fans in one location and celebrate their fandom in a big way and bring the best of Disney to them. It has been growing ever since.
We have panels and presentations. We have storytellers and filmmakers. We have stars. We have fans. And it's everyone gathered together for a truly immersive Disney experience.
One of my favorite things to experience is the Walt Disney Archives exhibit. It is unlike any other that we get to put together.
The fans have always really loved our exhibitions, starting out with a very small version, what we called Treasures of the Walt Disney Archives, where we showed some of our very iconic pieces. At the last expo, which we had in 2022, we actually brought out the biggest piece in the Walt Disney Archives collection, and that is Walt Disney's plane, his Grumman G1 aircraft. We feel at the archives that it's very, very important to share the assets that people love from the history of Disney. There is no point in having these things unless the people who love them the most get to see them, and I think that's something only Disney can do. This year, in 2024, what used to be the D23 Expo is now D23, the ultimate Disney fan event. And that's what it is. It's the biggest and best that we've done to date.
This year, D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, is a week-long celebration of Disney fans. We've really taken it to a whole new level, kicking off the official event, our very first ever D23 Day at Disneyland on Thursday, August 8th.
And then we have 3 fantastic days at the Anaheim Convention Center. There you will find an out-of-this-world show floor. We have over 230 panels and presentations with something for everyone.
We actually expanded the footprint this year. It's bigger than we've ever had before. The show floor is more immersive. And each evening, we are taking our big tentpole marquee shows and taking them over to the Honda Center. We've really raised the production value. Friday night will be all about Disney entertainment and the best of films, streaming, television, and so much more. Saturday night will be all about Disney experiences. So you get to learn about parks and resorts around the world, our cruise ships, and so many great experiences that we have to offer our fans. And then on Sunday night, we're closing out the weekend with the Disney Legends Ceremony.
This year in particular, we have a pretty stellar group of these amazingly talented people who have added so much to the legacy of the Walt Disney Company.
We could not be more excited about the weekend.
Cosplay is huge at D23. You have Marvel, you have Star Wars, you have Disney princesses and villains. And we like to really lean into that and give fans a platform to really display their fandom with cosplay. So we have things like D23 Masquerade, which is the ultimate Disney costume contest. The shows give fans the opportunity to get inside the magic. They get to hear about the stories, the experiences that are coming to Disney. They get to feel the nostalgia that really warms their heart, and they get to be excited for what's new and what's next from the company.
You know, what makes D23 so unique is it is something that only Disney can do. We bring the very best of Disney's storytelling, creativity, and innovation all together under one roof.
Having all the worlds of Disney together in one place for D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, is absolutely magical. I think only Disney can provide this experience because we're so creative and innovative, and every day new magic is made.
To see the fans walking through the doors every morning with big smiles on their faces, I look forward to that every single time we do this event. I think everyone's going to be so excited about all the announcements. All of our shows and productions are going to deliver something like we've never delivered before.
It's pretty cool. I got to say, from the 6 years I went, it really was cool. But, them doing what they did, moving the 3 big events to Honda Center, really puts a kibosh on it for me. You know, I would really like to go, but only if I can afford to go to the Honda Center.
Yeah.
But I wish, if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna make it like that, I wish they would have the Honda Center thing one weekend and D23 Expo the next weekend. Because if you go to the Honda Center and go to those 3 events, you're going to miss most of what's going on at the convention center.
It's true.
Because you're going to go and you're going to stand in line. The thing's 3 hours long. And by the time you get out of there and get over and find a parking spot and everything, you're going to see maybe the last couple, 2 or 3 hours at the convention center. But you're not going to get the full D23 event. So Disney, I know you guys listen to this podcast because I've seen things happen at Disneyland that wouldn't have happened if you didn't know what we're saying.
And we believe that.
Well, I'm telling you the reason I say that. They are tearing out a fountain next to Tortilla Joe's in downtown Disney. I went over there when they were doing it, and they had left gaps in the fence, and I took pictures of what they were doing. The very next weekend, I went back to take some more pictures, and they had plugged up all the places where I took pictures from.
Oh, trust me, I know that they listen. I'm just joking.
Because why would they may not watch the podcast, but they check out the group because otherwise, how would they know that I went over there and took pictures of that?
I have a friend whose job when she worked for a certain high-profile media personality, she would go on bulletin boards or forums, whatever they were called back then, and she would make notes for various things. So I know they pay attention to, especially now, to social media.
Yeah, I didn't see those photographs anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know,
I have no doubt.
It's so for them so quickly to go over there, and here's the other reason: they plugged up one place where I was looking. I went back the next time and I found another place where I could get a picture, and I took some pictures from there. And the next weekend I came back, that was plugged up.
There you go.
So that shows me somebody was reading our website and looking at the pictures I posted.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine any other way they would know about that if they weren't reading it. So I think they might listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
so,
probably. Well,
you, Disney.
What I was wondering about is why do they have things that are clearly for the commercial market or for their executive branch at the same time as D23? I mean, things like the legends, that sort of thing. It almost seems to me that could be an award type, like the Oscars or something, that is set aside from D23. D23, as they show it, seems to be much more in line with like Comic-Con or
it wasn't the first couple of years, especially the first year. The first year wasn't like that. Now, Disneyland, Disney, when they first had the 2009 D23 Expo, they did not think there were going to be any more. It was a one-time thing. And you know how you can tell?
Numbers?
Look at all of the buttons and pins and shirts. None of them said 2009 D23.
Yep.
None of them were dated. So what did they think? That you weren't going to need a date because you would always know that was done in 2009.
Yep.
They did not think there would be another one. All the pins I showed you last week, all the ones from 2009 have no date.
Then they decided, whoa.
They decided, we made a whole bunch of money. We're going to have another one next Saturday.
So it might, being a total idiot when it comes to D23, is my assessment that the next year, it's every other year at Disneyland, right?
It's that's up until this one that's fixing to happen in Brazil. It's only been at Disneyland. They've never had it in Florida. The talk was early on that they were going to alternate it. That's why every 2 years. So they would have 2024 would be at Disneyland and 2025 would be in Florida.
Yep.
But for some reason, they decided not to do that, to make it exclusively an Anaheim thing.
Well, they're much more embedded in Anaheim. I mean, it's part of the government and the culture and everything in Anaheim. Disney is. So.
Well, let's face it, Anaheim owns the city of Anaheim. I mean, Disneyland owns the city of Anaheim.
We went to school at Anaheim. We know.
Yeah, we went to
the Matterhorn was in our backyard.
We went to a private school.
Because our mother drove a bus.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to tell them that.
Well, I'm sorry. It's true.
Yes, it is. And we went to school with, what's her name? The actress?
Rosalind Chow.
Yes, yeah. Rosalind Chow.
We went to school with all
She was on our school bus.
Kid actors and such, yeah.
She was on our school bus.
Our old friend Ted Blumberg, who may be watching this for all that I know, I sent him a message about it.
I actually never met him.
Oh, you certainly did meet him.
I don't recall meeting him.
Yeah, you met him. He used to come to our end of the year pool party at our house. Along with his bodyguard. We had friends who had bodyguards.
I saw his bodyguard at the school.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a big bald-headed guy.
Yeah, that was one of them. He had two.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Disney.
So I was at the park yesterday. I'm sure if you're part of the group, you saw all my pictures. Hold on. My phone is ringing.
Oh my goodness.
I'll let it go to voicemail.
Dreams come true.
Oh, I was hoping you didn't hear that, but
okay.
That was my telephone. You can see I'm all Disney.
Yes.
Even my phone rings with Disney. My daughter, when she calls me, it's the Mickey Mouse March.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, I bought my granddaughter, just to tell you, I bought my granddaughter some clothes. Can you hang on just a moment?
Sure.
Joe, I'll call you back in a little bit. I'm on the podcast. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, sorry about that. Well, you can tell this show is on tape, but rather than have to go through and edit all this out, that's life.
Yeah,
life goes on, even on tape. Let's see. Oh, let me show you a couple more things. This was the introduction. I'm sorry.
You were talking about buying Georgia some clothing?
Oh yes. Thank you. I went to Walmart this morning with my granddaughter and grandson to buy them some school clothes. And one pair of pants my granddaughter wanted are too long for her. So I had called her other grandpa because his wife can sew. And nobody in our family can sew. So I was hoping she could hem the pants so she could use them on Wednesday, which is her first day back at school, which they're not real thrilled about. And to Disneyfy that, be aware Disney's hours are going to change. As soon as school lets back in, they go back to their winter hours. So even though it's still summertime, Disneyland goes back. I'm not sure when they do it, but I know it's right after school starts. They go back to winter hours. But anyway, as I started to say while I was interrupted, and anyway, I was at Disneyland yesterday. You may have seen, and at California Adventure. You may have seen my photographs, which there were a bunch of them on there. And I stayed and watched World of Color, which I have not seen since it opened. My daughter, who was a cast member back then, took me to the cast member preview. So I saw it before anybody else saw it. Well, cast members saw it, but I can tell you that it has suffered from, it is getting old. Some of that equipment, the fountains and so forth, don't work like they used to. They were really crisp and boom, bop, bop back originally, and now you can see they're starting to show their age, like me. So it's not quite what it used to be. And what was cool is after the first one that we saw, they played the World of Color music, and the different colored fountains were like dancing to the World of Color music as everybody left. And they didn't do that to this. And they play a commercial before the show. Even though it is a Disney commercial, it was for Inside Out 2. And it was pretty cool the way they did it. It was part of the show, really. I don't even know why they bothered to mention that. They should have just put it into the show and people would have said, oh, that's Inside Out 2. I'll go see it. But instead, they made it obvious it was a commercial.
Right.
So, let's see here. What was I going to show you? All right. Let's see. I already showed you that. I already showed you that. I already showed you that. Amberlina, who's one of our group members who posts frequently, she gave me some photos to show everybody. She went to D23 and she took some pictures. Mainly, it seems to be all the banners. I don't know why she took so many pictures of banners, but she took pictures.
Photograph outside.
Yep. And that's her on the left, and that's Donna, Jean, and Shelby, who are also members of the group and post
Hi, guys.
A ton of pictures in the group. And there's, I don't know what that's got to do with, but X-Men, obviously.
Now part of Marvel.
Yep. Well, I think it's always been part of Marvel, but now it's part of Disney.
Yeah.
And there's some different things from Broadway and Disney on Ice. And there's a bag they gave you for free. It isn't often Disney gives anybody anything for free. So, although they did give you some D23 ears, I guess on Friday for free. To the first 63 million people that came through the gate, or however many it was. I don't think it was actually 63 million, but let's see. Oh,
did they still give you the sparkly dust stuff on your birthday with the badge? Not on my birthday. But...
You still get a button that says "Happy Birthday." Yeah. That's nice.
They aren't open on your birthday.
Yes, they are.
They're open on Christmas Day?
Absolutely. They're open on Christmas Day, New Year's Day. you name it. You don't get a day off if you work for them.
I hope
You're
they
working.
get double pay or something.
I'm sure they get something. They just got a $4 an hour raise in pay.
Oh,
because
cool.
They threatened to strike, and Disney gave them some money.
Yeah, they don't want that.
Good. Well, I've got another little preview to show you here. It's the Imagination stage here. So.
Is this the immersive
pavilion? But I just got a little walkthrough, and it's well, I love it. I love it. Look, it's the best time to be an Imagineer. You probably all know I was here for about 25 years. Went away for 7, and I've been back about 18 months now, almost. And I have never seen the amount of it's unprecedented, the amount of work we have going on around the world. That we're actually doing. You're going to hear more about that on Saturday. I'm not going to give anything away right now. But as Imagineers, this is what we love. We're dreamers and doers, mostly doers. We love to create things. We love to get things out in front of our audience. And our passion is fueled by our guests and all of you, because we love our fans. And this is why we do what we do. Because at the end of the day, it's nothing until we see the reactions on folks like your faces when you bring your friends and family and actually create those memories that last a lifetime. So honestly, you're our fuel, and the opportunity to highlight Imagineering this year at our pavilion is super special for us. What we're doing is we're pulling back the curtain, and we're going to show our techniques. We're using some recent projects to show you a bunch of our techniques, everything from how we invent innovation, so some really cool technology. We're going to show you how we actually get into the craft of actually building the things we do, a little bit of special effects and illusions, and then we're going to go even into things like our interior design. There's models, there's really cool stuff in there, and mostly there's Imagineers who are going to share their passion. We've got 200 volunteering Imagineers here who will be in the pavilion the whole time to talk and share their passions with all of you and all the other fans who are coming. The heart of this pavilion is our center stage. We're programmed a bunch of Imagineers to be up there to talk about different subjects throughout the weekend. So look for those. And the other fun thing is that after Saturday night, we've got 2 reveal rooms, because Josh tomorrow is going to be doing a lot of announcements. And when those reveal rooms will open Sunday morning, so we love repeat visitation, as you know. So you're going to have to come back Sunday if you want to get in there and see some really cool shit that is brand new and is on the horizon. So with that, and I know you've all been hungry for something beyond blue sky. Blue sky is really fun, but you know what? Building, delivering, putting shovels in the dirt is even better. So that's what this year's all about, and the next decade is all about, and beyond, quite frankly. So with that, I've got some unofficial tour guides that'll only be for you guys. That was going to introduce you. You may know them from social media. It's our BDX droids. I don't go on stage without them anymore. They steal the show. But with that, I'm going to let you go because they're much more interesting and more fun than I am. So they're small, but they have huge personalities. So dive in and have a great time. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm sorry I cut your voice off because you started to talk after I'd already hit the button. So I apologize.
It's okay. I was going to say, I believe that's all of the new immersive airing they're doing. The immersive technology that brings the participant into the ride a little more. So yeah. That's all I said.
Now here was, let's see, I'm not going to play the rest of the stuff because we haven't got that much more time on that.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't anything that important. So I'm going to get rid of it all. So hopefully, we got a new member. Yeah, well, we got lots of new members.
Well, yeah.
But I met this cast member at Tomorrowland Terrace, and Nancy Johnson, who was a member, she and I keep hitting the park at the same time, so I've had lunch with her a couple of times. Real nice lady. She was in the belief that there was going to be music again Saturday at Tomorrowland Terrace like there was Friday. Now, why Disney? Disney originally said there was going to be music every night of D23. Well, I don't know where it was. It wasn't at Tomorrowland Terrace. That's something they really need to fix, is the music. Because they've completely gotten rid of almost, I'm not going to say completely and almost, but they've almost eliminated music from the resort. They have a few.
That used to be a major part of it, too.
Yeah, every time you'd go. And something that ticks me off, I don't know if anybody happened to see the video of the experience. I think it was the experience event at Honda Center. Before the event, they had a little pre-show. They had a band there. They had the Mad Tea Party band there, the one that used to play in California Adventure.
They stole the band.
Now, it looked like a couple of the members were different, but they had Alice and they had the Mad Hatter. Those were the guys that used to sing there. Yeah. Couple of the people looked different, but they put makeup on them, so they looked the same. But couple of the other band members looked different. But the Mad Hatter and Alice were they had different Mad Hatters and different Alices, but these were the two good ones that were there. Although I don't want to say that the other ones weren't good, but these were, I think, the two best ones.
Music used to be such a vital part of it, even going back. I mean, Pentatonic sang there several times, and they're, of course, they're what's the term I'm looking for? A cappella, so they don't even need instruments. But you would think that they would incorporate much more of it. It's always been a vital part of Disneyland, from oh, there you go. See what happens when you get old? Your memory goes. The Dapper Dans and the...
Well, they're still there, the Dapper Dans. But I have to... the quality of the Dapper Dans, not quite what it used to be. But they're still there. They're still there. They're not terrible, but they're not quite what they used to be. The Disneyland band has actually gotten better. They had a trumpeter that was really sour. I had a real problem with some of his notes, but he either got better or they got rid of him, because I haven't noticed what, the personnel changes. If they're wearing the uniform, I figure it's the same person. So
they need to spend the money.
Well, the guy retired that used to do all the musical stuff. Stan Freeze retired.
Yeah.
And when he retired, the music kind of went with him. He's the one that organized the Mad Tea Party. He's the one that used to hire all the bands at Tomorrowland Terrace. That all, just went away when he went away. Now, his son played for the Goo Goo Dolls. He plays the saxophone. And his son's middle school band was the last band to play at the Carnation gazebo, or what, I forget what they call that.
Yeah, I guess.
His middle school band was the last one to play there, and Stan Free's son played with them. As an adult, he came back and he played the saxophone with the middle school band. And Stan Freeze was there. I got to talk to him a little bit. But Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. Used to, you'd come to the park, walk over to Adventureland, and they had Alturas or Alturas played South American music, and they used to play. They used to have a stage up on top of where the Jungle Boat is. They had a stage up there, and they would get up there and play on top of the stage. And then you'd walk over to Tomorrowland, and they had Scott Bruce or Suburban Legends or the Fab Four, or they had somebody playing there at the Tomorrowland Terrace. And before they put in Space Mountain, they used to have a big stage over there. And they used to have big name bands. They had Three Dog Night, Grassroots, and you young people have no idea who they are, but
these were big people.
They were big name bands back then and put out a lot of big records. But now, nothing. There's nothing.
I
Tomorrowland Terrace.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I remember when I was a teenager going over to see a band. Specifically, we went to Disneyland to see this band. So it's amazing that they haven't followed up on that, but perhaps they will again.
Well, they showed that they can do it because they brought Suburban Legends back from the dead. I mean, they hadn't played at Disneyland. I don't know if they played anywhere else, but they hadn't played in 7 years.
Yeah.
The Elvis impersonator that used to play there, Scott Bruce, he still plays. He was over in one of the beach cities. I think it was Malibu, playing at a place over there just a couple of weeks ago. So he's obviously still. He looks a lot like. Oh God, the name just escaped me. He used to be in Burnt Notice, and he was in Bruce Campbell.
Oh yes, oh yeah, Bruce Campbell.
He looks more like Bruce Campbell than he does like Elvis. But
well, Bruce Campbell is known for playing the mummified, semi-mummified Elvis. So
yeah, now that's a good movie. If you ever want to see kind of a offbeat, funny movie, it's Bubba Kahotep is the name of the movie.
My husband has the T-shirt.
It's a very good movie. It's not Academy Award worthy or anything, but it's a funny movie. It's worth watching.
It's also inventive and imaginative. And if you know at all anything about the Elvis legend and Egyptian kings, it's sort of
where's the Buckaroo Banzais of today? Why aren't they making any movies like that anymore?
Well, the problem is that the writers are just not cultivated. And I have so many good friends who are excellent writers who are working in comics, but they're not working in film. So TV and film, they have to start looking for them. And hi, I'm one of them. So,
there you go. Sitting right over there.
I'm a good writer.
There you go.
Yeah. But there's a lot of, especially young talent. And they've all gone to the comics because that's where the income can be established, And the film is fighting the unions, which I can understand, but they're all going overseas, and I could go on, but it's not Disney. So. Disney has been one of the few.
Well, I don't have anything to play us out with, so I'm afraid we're just going to have to say goodbye and go away. we are coming up on 1 hour.
Top of the hour. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I am going to work on a closing theme song for us so we don't have to just go.
And I'm going to get a green screen so my parts of myself do not disappear.
Yes, Melody's using this. It's really pretty good considering she has no green screen behind her. It's amazing it works as well as it does. But like me, with the green screen behind me, I can't wear a blue or a green shirt because if I do, I could not wear a shirt that color. And if I wore a shirt that color, it would look like my head was floating on the screen here. It would
that
not
would be
good.
unattractive. Yeah.
Yes, it would. So anyway, all right.
Thank you for joining us.
We will be back next week with another D23 show. We're going to go into what all they said, what all movies were coming out, the changes to the parks, and we're going in depth into all of that next week. So I hope you'll join us and say goodbye to Melody. I'll get rid of Melody.
Goodbye to Melody.
And then I'll get rid of me. So take it easy. Goodbye, Melody.
Bye.
All right. Time for me to go. Take care, and we will see you next week.